So this is going to be the conflict of the mind. This is from 1 year ago. Conflict of the mind. The initial frame already has me a bit curious. I'm intrigued. And you know, the talks that we have, the philosophy that we talk about here, psychology of things, all the subtext and deep dives that we do, I'd be curious to see where she goes with this. No subs, by the way. Kid's spitting all over the friggin' cake. All right, let's focus here. I think this is so interesting. Let's ignore the child for a moment. Listen to The top of the track has her voice kind of floating around. Very beautiful. But we also have a bunch of stuff kind of bouncing. There's a chaos here. And with the conflict of the mind, it makes perfect sense. There's something that makes sense, and it's there, and sometimes you hear it super clearly, but there's so much other stuff happening that it confuses what you should be hearing. And I think that's what's done musically with her voice here. You think they're going through the motions, huh? I have to agree with that. When that cake came out and nobody cheered, besides me, nobody cheered or smiled or gave any acknowledgement whatsoever. We got a bunch of Jell-O, which is great. We got some cake. Billy's going to spit all over the damn thing. Going through the motions. Which I think hits harder after we see this scene right here. I don't know if you took this the same way, but the way I read this was like, if she is the narrator that we're traveling through this journey with, and we get to see different stages of the family, essentially, of time, there's a moment where, like, this happens and everybody's gone, right? That's what the clothes represent. Everybody's gone. They don't exist anymore. But coming back to this, we're not there yet, right? We're still here, but understanding that this will ultimately, right here, be a thing. We need to, yes, I said Billy. The child is Billy now. Yes. It's almost like, hey, let's appreciate, let's not get lost in the spiraling that we're probably doing, and appreciate what's in front of us. Appreciate what's real. This right now is real. But we get so caught up in our own inner workings that we lose sight of what's actually in front of us, what's actually real, because we're lost here. Now, I do think they do a super cool job here of hiding the transitions.
That we never talk about, but I see it in the mirrors,
William.
in the curtains of our house.
Now we're going to hide the transition behind, I'm going to say Dad's head here.
We can leave it all behind. Only when I see.
Because now that we're in the next scene, we're going to back out of this. And we're going to see the difference at the table. Okay. Now we just have wine. There is a blue rose. Something has happened. And we are once again lost in our minds here. Another transition. Now we're here where it's just the clothes. So that's a good question about the place setting. I think she does have a place setting. Oh, she does not. No, it doesn't look like it. Because they all have like plates of food, pretty full plates. I don't think she has that. But even if she did, and she was part of the family, I would still call her the narrator because she is the consistency between the scenes. Even when we transition from behind Dad's head, we go back to Aurora, and then we travel out from there. We return to her, we travel out from there. So she is the one consistent piece that we kind of hold her hand through the scene. Seems like longing grief. I would agree with that. That's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Conflict of the mind. Wow. I think there's some real meat to this. No pun intended, because there's a lot of food. I do wonder why the Jell-O is all of a sudden a thing. Unless it's supposed to represent that this is a very happy time. I feel like the cake does a great job of that, but there's still no joy. And as we can probably, most if not all of us can relate to, grief can just kind of taint everything. And it doesn't always have to be the grief of something that happens. It can also be the anticipatory grief of worrying and fearing about something that we know will inevitably happen, or fear of something that could happen. And that could also be displayed here, because this starts off in that position. We already have this kind of lifelessness, and it tracks through the entire thing. So I don't know. It's a little deep, but I think that's pretty good. Or grieving lost times, yeah, I would agree with that. And I think, Joe, you had said something earlier which I thought was appropriate at the time and also fits here, is that there can also be this grief for wanting to go back to a time and you know that it's just not possible. And that's why nostalgia is such a powerful drug, but it can lead to very strong bits of sadness, because it's a place that we can't really return. We can try as hard as we do, but it's really not possible.